everyone. Welcome to Science and Technology Awareness Program 2019. Today, we are going to discuss about food security. I am Dr. Musfirah Zulkurnain. I'm a senior lecturer and a food technologist in Food Technology Division, School of Industrial Technology, University Science Malaysia. As a food technologist, we work diligently in improving the nutritional, the quality, and the accessibility of foods that we eat today and foods of tomorrow. So the goal for today is we are going to discuss what is food security, what causes food insecurity, why should we care about food security, and what can we do about it. Food is a fundamental requirement for survival. Regardless of geographical location, cultural background, and food preferences, people must eat every day. The right to food is a human right. People should have sufficient food and the means of access to it, and the food should meet the person's dietary and nutrition needs at once. If you look at this photo, rice is common to Asians. Rice provides carbohydrates. The fish provides proteins, which is the building blocks of our body, and fresh vegetables provides minerals and vitamins. The world's population is growing year after year. In today's world, the human population is at 7.5 billion. And it has been estimated that in 2050, the world's population is reaching 9.5 billion. We have a big question here. With the increasing population, is the food that we have today and food in the future is enough to support everyone in the world? The truth is, agricultural farming today are producing 1/3 more than enough calories that we need. However, why do we have hunger? Why the number of hungry people are in rise? Studies have shown that 821 million people do not get enough food every day. 1 out of 9 people in the world going to bed hungry. If we look at this hunger map 2018, the recent hunger map, we can see that region with highlighted in red are the regions at a critical condition. 35% of the populations are at risk of hunger. We can see that sub-Saharan region and country like North Korea, which is in the political instability, are the population at risk. So hunger, it's not only the problem of developing country. In developed country like Canada, 1 out of 8 families are struggling to put food on the table. This is going to affect the growth of children, the performance of children in schools and their future. So hunger, it's not only about putting food in the stomach or having the stomach full. It is also related to the nutrition that we feed to the kids. What is relevant is what the kids are eating. Studies have shown that more than 2 billion people worldwide are suffering from nutrient and mineral deficiency due to imbalance in diet. So, the states of food insecurity can be defined as the economic and social conditions of limited or uncertain access to educate food at household level. So what about food security then? Food security means the states when all people at all time have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious foods that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. So food security have four main dimensions. The first dimension is the physical availability of food. The second one is the economic and physical access to food. The third, we have stability over time. And the fourth one, food utilization. What do they mean? If we look at physical availability, the physical availability is addressing the supply side of the food security. It means that what is the level of food production now? We need to know the stock level that we have in the world to support the population, and also the net trade. So which means that we can gather, we can produce, we can store food from farming, fishing, and also breeding animals. Okay, the second aspect is the economic and physical access to food. Even we have adequate supply of food at the national or international level, however, it does not guarantee that the food reach your house. Insufficient access to food can happen when we don't have money to buy food, when we don't have physical accessibility to food. Calamities like natural disaster, sickness, elderly, and increase in food price can simply be the reason. In this case, a safety net is needed for effective food distribution. So the third aspect is about food stability. So the food sources that we secure today has to be stable over time. The deteriorations of nutrition can happen rapidly upon harvesting. This can happen due to enzyme digestion, bacteria or fats eating our food. So the food has to be processed effectively and secured with weather conditions, secured from weather conditions, political instability, and even from economic factors like rising in food price. Okay, the fourth aspect is the food utilization. Even if we have available food, we have access and stable foods, the nutrition status of an individual depends on how the food and nutrition that we eat being converted into energy. Biological utilization is only effective when we have proper physical environment for feeding practices. So food preparation has to be hygiene to avoid food waste and foodborne illnesses that impede efficient absorption of nutrients into our body. So, what is the status of food insecurity in Malaysia and around the world? From this map of Global Food Security Index 2018, we can see that Singapore has championed the world with highest accessibility, affordability, and availability of foods at 85.9%. For these 9 participating countries of this program, I would like to highlight that the Denmark follows Singapore, and we have Japan, we have South Korea, we have Malaysia, we have Mexico, and then Indonesia, followed by Philippines, India, and Bangladesh at the rank that shown here. So what causes food insecurity? As I mentioned before, increasing global population definitely increase demand for food. So the production for food have to be effective. However, we know that climate change greatly affected the global farming today. So we have less and less resources of water, land, and also good seeds in some parts of the world. So on top of that, urbanization in most parts of the world also affecting these resources and the effectivity of the food production. This causes a rise in food price and therefore food insecurity. Alright, so why should we care? I would like to highlight here that food insecurity creates a vicious cycle. What does that mean? When mothers with poor nutrition give birth to weak babies, they are susceptible to diseases. So these weak babies are growing with insufficient foods. Studies have shown that kids need good food, good nutrition, at least in the first 5 years of their development. After that, this will impede their growth, their performance in class, and even their self-confidence. So we can question what is our future if we have a growing populations of malnutrition kids. So global agreement has been achieved even long before. So in a World Food Summit 1975, food security has been coined and has been discussed. Year after that, Committee of World Food Security has been created. Today, in 2019, the Committee on World Food Security is reaching their 46th session, which is going to held in October. So all in all, we as a global community are effectively supporting the second sustainable goal, which is fighting hunger. So what can we do as an individual, as a community, in our country and in the world populations? So first, we should empower science with our education. Research and on science and technology, especially on the food supply chain, is very important. Effective productions of food is contributed largely from the advancements of science today. So it is important for us as an individual to know how do our food being produced, how do fisheries farming is being conducted, how do we have good meal on the table. So with that, all of us have to know how to eat balanced food using a food pyramid, and all of us need to know how to read a nutritional labeling from the products that we take every day. So with that, we can have a sustainable food consumption habit and a good healthy life. Okay, so secondly, we should reduce food waste. Food waste is creating more greenhouses than traffics every day. The food that we waste every day in the world is accumulating. If you look at these statistics, 30% of cereal lost as a waste, 20% lost as dairies. So these can come from spoiled food or during processing. Ineffective processing can lead to food waste. So we have 35% food waste in fisheries. We have 45% food waste in fruits and vegetables, 20% from meat, and we have 45% from tubers and roots. So we should work together individually and in community to reduce food waste. Thirdly, we should build local resources in this urban development today. Most of us are living in the city. Me, for example, I'm living in a city of Penang, which we have limited land, but we can work on city farming. A lot of research on city farming have shown that even a limited space like the rooftop can be converted into a space where we can farm. In Malaysia, we have the community like Kebun Banda, which means urban farming. You can do a lot of research on how to effectively contribute to the local resources. Okay, the last thing that we can do is creating food bank. So food bank can be created from several ways. Even in today, with one click, we can gather the resources of money and share with others. With one click, we can sponsor a meal for a child. With one click, we can share and donate to good causes and share the love to the world. In Malaysia, the government are actively working in improving the food bank and food security, especially in the vulnerable populations, for example, the students. To wrap up, in food security, we have 4 dimensions that we have to look at, which is physical availability of food, economic and physical access to food, stability over time, and food utilization. With that, we have 4 strategies to combat food insecurity. We should empower science via our education, we should reduce food waste, we should build local resources, and create food bank. With that, thank you very much.